Hello everyone, this is Misspelled Entertainment News and my name is Dread, recording this yet again because I had some major camera malfunctions. I was going to record this video about 3 days ago as I'm recording this now. By the time you see it, probably 4 days ago for you. That's when I first noticed this. I first thought I should probably do a video on this, but I got a little bit lazy, a little bit tired, a little bit complacent. Didn't feel like recording anything, so I thought I'll do it later. And if I'd recorded it at the time I first noticed it, I probably would have been the first person to report on this because I hadn't seen anybody up until the last 24 hours when I've seen 2 other people now reporting on this. Glad people are starting to pick up on this, though, so that's good. It's important for people to know this stuff. We are going to be getting into some reactions to some videos later, so don't worry about that. That is coming. But in the meantime, I want to get right into this because I think it's very important that you know how gaming companies are basically joining with YouTubers to lie to you. I think this is very important as consumers that we understand this. So if you spent any time on YouTube at all lately, you might have noticed a disturbing trend the last few days. A veritable plethora of YouTube videos have appeared, all with the key phrases Star Wars Outlaws and I played for 4 hours. All of these videos are by larger YouTubers, those who regularly review video games, and none of them should be trusted, and I am about to tell you why. So at this point, I've watched a good number of these new Outlaws review videos. I have so far only seen one that was remotely critical of the game, and that in and of itself is highly suspicious. But there is something else that these YouTubers are not telling you. Or rather, they might be volunteering this information, but glossing over it like it isn't in itself super important to their review. You see, all of these YouTube reviews were bought and paid for by Ubisoft. Ubisoft went to these reviewers and offered to fly them out to a big city, come to Ubisoft headquarters where they were fawned over and given the opportunity to rub shoulders with other YouTubers as well as Ubisoft execs. Once there, they were given access to 4 hours of hands-on gameplay and then eventually flown back home, free of charge, all expenses paid. Now, to be fair, some YouTubers, probably not that many, but some, turned down the opportunity to fly to the event and instead were given remote access to the gameplay. But I really don't think that matters. Even having been offered the free trip is reason enough to not want to jeopardize your chances of ever being offered something like that in the future. These YouTubers were wined and dined and treated like royalty, all with the wink wink, nudge nudge, under the table understanding that in order to receive these things or these types of things in the future, you are expected to not be too hard on the upcoming game. These are not independent reviews, and they are not independent reviewers. They have become contracted employees of Ubisoft. They were paid with a free trip and vague promises of more to come. Do you still think that these are independent and trustworthy reviews? Did I mention that all of these YouTube personalities had to sign a contract first? Yep, it is true. Ubisoft made them sign a contract before getting access to the game. Contractual employees bought and paid for by Ubisoft. So this is my public service announcement to you and for you. Believe these reviews at your own risk. There is a good chance that these reviewers will also be receiving a free copy of the game, and they will be making money hand over fist based on the ad revenue from their videos covering Star Wars Outlaws. And they will all be playing the game, no matter how bad it is, because playing games, even controversial ones, is how these people make their money. And they are all in a different tax bracket than you or I or most of us can. Most of us just can't afford to throw $100 or more in a game. They can. So keep all these things in mind while you're watching me break down the following videos covering Ubisoft's Star Wars Outlaws. Because, let's be honest. Oh, good, my camera's working. Oh, I look so handsome. That's Sorry, I just said be honest, and I called myself handsome. Let's be honest. Some things lately on the internet just do not jibe with what has already been massively reported about the game. As I always say, do your own homework, trust no one, safeguard your own money, never pre-order, and support the smaller gaming companies as well as the smaller YouTubers, because they haven't yet been tempted to the dark side by the lure of the big corporate bucks. And now, on to the first video that we will be reacting to. All right, everybody, the first video we're going to look at here is by Gaming Bolt. Once again, all these videos will be linked down below in the description. Go click on them and watch them for yourself if you so desire. And this one's called Star Wars Outlaws, Our 10 Biggest Worries You Need to Know About.
Plenty of what's been showcased for Star Wars Outlaws has looked more than a little promising. Whether you're talking about its promise of an authentic, open-world Star Wars experience, or the potential of its reputation system and the dynamic gameplay opportunities that it can create, to name just a couple of things. At the same time, however, Massive Entertainment's upcoming spacefaring adventure has also attracted some skepticism in a decent chunk of the game's potential player base.
Yep.
Here, we're going to take a look at a few such areas where some have expressed concerns about Star Wars Outlaws potentially stumbling in noticeable ways. Technical issues. We'll start off with a concern that we've seen brought up most often in discussions about Star Wars Outlaws. By and large, what Massive has shown of the game has looked suitably impressive from a visual perspective, but in the weeks leading up to release, more than a few people have noticed a visual downgrade, or at least a perceived visual downgrade.
Okay, this is their number one biggest worry. I haven't even heard anybody talking about this. Just going to point that out.
Huh? Whoa!
I don't hear anybody saying that this game is visually stunning, nor do I hear anybody saying, hey, it looks like lately there's been a visual downgrade. No, they're talking about how a lot of the stuff looks like crap, and it looks like it was made 10, 15 years ago, not today.
Either way, there's no denying that noticeable bugs and technical rough edges have been spotted in gameplay footage leading up to Star Wars Outlaws' launch, raising concerns for many about what condition the game is going to be in when it does come out. Thankfully, with Star Wars Outlaws having gone gold in early July, by the time it releases, developer Massive Entertainment will have had roughly 2 months to prepare patches that could alleviate at least some of those issues right.
So you're telling me it's already got enough in pre-orders? Oh my god, people, have you not learned? Do not pre-order games
Out the gate. Playing it safe? Another concern that some have raised with Star Wars Outlaws, ourselves included, is that the gameplay footage that we've seen of it so far suggests that it might be playing it a bit too safe from a design and mechanics perspective.
Sure.
Cover-based shooting, familiar stealth mechanics, Uncharted-style climbing in more than a few areas. Star Wars Outlaws is looking like a slightly different version of a AAA game we've played many times over the years.
Yeah.
To be fair, there's every chance that the game succeeds in pulling all of those elements together in a genuinely compelling way, and that's certainly what we're hoping for.
Hope dies hard, I guess.
Oh, no, that was our way out!
Then we'll make another one.
That looks like
Combat.
2010, not 2024.
That Star Wars Outlaws will primarily be a cover-based third-person shooter where combat is concerned isn't a huge surprise given the fact that it's coming from the studio that makes The Division. But whether or not the sci-fi title is going to be able to replicate the mechanical depth and satisfying nature of that series' combat is the question that many have right now. Kay is going to be equipped with a single blaster, one that admittedly will have multiple modules with different uses for different situations, but that in and of itself could potentially mean much more simple and straightforward combat.
And I've heard that you can pick up weapons that other people drop and stuff and use them, but you can't keep them. So the other weapons, the game is only designed for you to use them in certain areas, and they let you keep them because it was probably just too difficult for the developers to allow you to keep those weapons and use them in other areas. They have to make things harder then, and they're not about making the game hard, they're about making it easy for everybody. That's my guess.
Capturing the swashbuckling nature of classic Star Wars scoundrel adventures is obviously going to rely on a lot more than just combat, but combat is going to be an important part of that experience, so hopefully Massive can keep it from feeling bare bones. Stealth. Stealth is clearly going to be another important part of the Star Wars Outlaws gameplay loop. And once again, it's an area that raises concerns about potentially being too simplistic. In Stealth, Kay's companion, Nyx, will serve a crucial role, from distracting foes and helping...
Except the gameplay was so easy, many game players said that Nyx was never even needed. Kay can just do it all. She's amazing. She's like Rey. Rey. Probably next time we got in the Acolyte, we get a May. Apparently they like the A stuff. Maybe they just think they're all okay. I don't know.
Kay create distractions to stealing and retrieving objects and more. But ultimately, the things you're going to be doing while in stealth could maybe feel pretty familiar if you've played, well, I don't know, any Ubisoft open world game with stealth elements in recent years, of which there's been no shortage. Is it possible that Outlaws succeeds in implementing those familiar elements in an engaging way? Or that its Star Wars veneer helps elevate some of its more rote elements? Well, entirely. Both of those things are possible. Whether or not that happens remains to be seen. Progression. Star Wars Outlaws is going to be much less focused on progression mechanics and build diversity on what massive fans may be used to with the Division games. But though we're obviously expecting much more limited and streamlined systems on that front, we're not sure yet if the game isn't going a bit too far with streamlining that side of the gameplay experience. From Kay's blaster to her ship to plenty of cosmetic options, Star Wars Outlaws is obviously going to have players engaging with some progression and customization systems. We're just hoping they feel...
Can't customize Kay to actually make her look like a woman, though, because, hey, apparently Ubisoft hates women. Or at least hates women who look like women. We can go through the rest of this, but I'm sensing from Gaming Bolt here they're trying to be very optimistic about things. Hey, some people are saying this, and then they're not even saying the things people are actually saying, and then they're like, hey, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Just curious. Go look at Gaming Bolt here, and we go look at their videos. I mean, they cover Black Myth Wukong, but they're not talking about the controversy. Another video here. Can Star Wars Outlaws defy gamer expectations? So they're putting the whole negativity just on, the gamer expectations are the problem. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's that one there that we just did. I mean, 10 more things you need to know before you buy it. Blah blah blah. Are they playing it too safe? I mean, they're pointing out faults, but they're doing so in a very cautious way. And I will point out, larger YouTuber, 1.27 million. All right, just pointing that out. Let's take a look at Yellow Flash 2, who did a video called Star Wars Outlaws is Broken. Final preview of game roasted and mocked by gamers.
Star Wars Outlaws is right around the corner, so of course coverage for the game is going to pick up drastically because now journalists are getting bigger demos for the game, so there's more previews for it. This is why you're seeing a lot of articles pop up, and of course 90% of them are positive.
Yeah.
Like...
Or 90%.
This one from the Washington Post. Star Wars Outlaws somehow made me fall in love with Star Wars again. Right.
Okay.
Oh, look at this one from Gizmodo. No one working on Star Wars Outlaws expected the hot droid thirst.
What?
Sorry, Ubisoft, but never underestimate Star Wars fans' ability to lust
stupid
for the unlikeliest beings of the galaxy far, far away. This is Star Wars audience now. A bunch of shippers and degenerates.
Yeah, that's not the true fans. Sorry, that's just a bunch of fucking weirdos.
This article pops up. Hey guys, I know you like writing fan fiction about characters banging. This game's got a sexy droid. Are people really
whatever.
thirsting over this thing? It looks like a battle droid from the prequels. Okay. Where's the thirsting for it? I don't even see any tweets. But apparently there's people. Are you sure it's not just you, James Wetbrook?
Yeah.
Are you the one thirsting for a droid?
You know.
And then you got stuff
maybe
like
go
this
make love to your
because
toaster
everyone's
or
roasting
something.
the main character of the game. And it's so obvious that they uglified her when you compare her to the actress they used to play her. Because she's really pretty, actually. She's very pretty. And they took her and they gave her a sharp, bigger nose, bigger chin, sunken in cheeks. They kind of gave her more of a masculine look. This does not look like her. And this is a more flattering picture too, by the way. This is much better. This one right here. This is not what the actual actress looks like. They went out of their way to make her look like a man. Plain and simple.
Yep.
And here's what I love. So they're getting a lot of shit once again, and it's an IGN video that's getting all the shit. And if you go over there, this is the final preview build for the game, by the way. I just want to point that out. This is supposed to be the game's almost ready to go, and everyone's roasting it. You can see the ratio right there, 2.7 likes to 10,000 likes, or 10,000 dislikes. And this is the final preview. And what's really funny is how they're praising this, and they're praising it like people are pointing out, like, really, this is the footage they chose at 455. Well, let's roll back to 447 and take a look at what people are roasting the hell out of, because it really is embarrassing. Let me fold this up, make this a little bit more of a bigger screen here. All right, check this out. This is embarrassing. So they're going over the stealth gameplay, and apparently it's really good. That's what the guy that's reading the script says. Take a look at this shit.
Yes, is upgradable to get out of trouble, and that adds to the sense of danger because you're not a laser sword wielding demigod. As such, the blaster battles felt like they had meaningful stakes, and the stealth gameplay had a bit of weight to it because I knew that I'd be up against it if I...
What the fuck was that? I'm going to run out and put my blaster to somebody's chest and basically fire about 10 or 12 bolts into them, while the two people behind that person just stand there, and one has a gun out, one doesn't. It just looked like, hey, I'm on coffee break. I'm not going to fire at you. You can try to kill my companion, but you didn't even kill him with that many bolts to him. And then everybody runs around and bumps into each other like a bunch of fucking Keystone Cops. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? It's a built-in meme.
You serious?
They're not embarrassed by
Mr.
that?
IGN man, but this looks awful.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody is roasting this.
Sorry for the big reaction. That's the first time I've seen that clip. Like, oh my god, that's fucking terrible. And you thought you should release that clip to the public? Oh my god. That means the rest of the game is worse than that. That means that's a part they found good. Wow.
Because he literally says the stealth gameplay is amazing right here. And when you see these guys, like, this guy's like shooting at the door, the wall or some shit over here to the left of her. And then this guy's not even shooting at her. Like, look at where he's got the blaster. It's between her and this dude. This is embarrassing.
It is. That's terrible.
There's going to be big stealth gameplay in this, and it looks bad. This is supposed to be a core feature of the game, and it's bad. And this isn't even the worst. Remember the last video I went over with this, and they had that awful explosion where she surfboards on the fire explosion?
This looks like they made a game for non-gamers. Looks like they made a game hoping people who've never fucking played a game before will come play this, and they'll be able to easily do it because the game is that simple.
It's a mess. This game, I'm predicting when it comes out is going to be a broken mess.
Yep.
I think you're going to see glitches everywhere, and that could be wrong. It could be polished. They
Maybe,
have time
but we'll see.
to get some polish on there. But I don't think so, because the trend in modern gaming is to just release a broken piece of shit and let people be beta testers. The game will crash and mess up, and then they'll go in there when they get their reports from players, and they'll fix it. And this is why, Bungie's laying off 17% of their staff. Apparently, I got to do a video on that, too. And, I wonder why that's happening. Maybe because the industry has taken customers for granted.
Yeah.
Putting out broken pieces of shit
Yep.
all the time. Like this game looks like a broken piece of shit.
Yep. All right, let's skip up here. Again, all these videos are linked down below. You could go check out the entirety of the videos. I don't have time to go over every detail of every video here. So we're just hitting through some highlights. This is by Drunk 3PO. It's called Star Wars Outlaws Gets Destroyed. Gameplay clips are hilarious.
It's a brand new Star Wars game that's getting ready to drop in about 25 days, 27 days. Anyway, it's going to drop at the end of August, called Star Wars Outlaws. Some people were looking forward to this game while others were wondering what it's all going to be about. But as clips began to surface, it is getting roasted online. Star Wars Outlaws previews gets roasted online, and we're going to show you some of those clips. We're going to show you what the developer said about the character. Oh my gosh, there's a lot in this video, so stay tuned. This article coming from geeksandgamers.com. Star Wars Outlaws, Ubisoft. Well, that could be the problem right there. Upcoming game that has been criticized since its first trailer. Yeah, when they dropped the teaser trailer, it got downvoted to heck and back, man. People are like, yay, another female in charge that's probably going to do superpower stuff with no training, no skill, no super.
Ray K and May, everybody. Ray K and May. That's the Star Wars new trifecta of super people.
Superpowers, whatever. But yeah, let's see what this is all about. It says we'll go on sale this month, and clips are popping up on social media along with playthroughs and, of course, gaming media impressions. I'm sure you can guess what the gaming journalists have to say about it, but everything else points to an underwhelming Star Wars game. Okay. All right, let's check on the gaming journalist reviews first before we show these clips. IGN, we spent 4 hours in Star Wars Outlaws, and we were impressed by how organic all of its activities. Look, I'm sorry.
What?
Anytime they use the word activities in a description, all I can think about is the movie Step Brothers.
I'm thinking about organic. What's organic? Oh, it's very organic. Are you kidding me? It's the Star Wars universe. How can the game be organic?
When they made those bunk beds, they're like, look, we got a lot of room for activities here. Just a lot of room. So maybe that's what they're saying. There's a lot of room in this game for activities, characters, and world felt. There you go. Activities, everyone. A lot of activities.
Wow.
After playing 2 hours of Star Wars Outlaws, I'm shocked to report that my fire for Star Wars is rekindled. We're shocked that you didn't give it a bad review if you know the game is bad. We're shocked that all these journalists find this game to be absolutely amazing.
And so do a whole bunch of YouTubers. Don't forget that. A whole bunch of YouTubers also the same thing. They've become the new games journalists, untrustworthy, unfortunately, many of them.
That's shocking. We're shocked that we can't find one gaming journalist to actually tell the truth, because they all tend to say the same thing. Well, except for this one. Kotaku doesn't even say anything about the game. It says, evergreen from last year's Star Wars Outlaws backlash proves we need more women protagonists.
Hey,
I don't even think they did a game review.
What does
I don't
that
think
mean?
they even played it. Aren't they supposed to be working on like walkthroughs now? But no, they have to say we need more women because we like the male outrage. We like the white male outrage.
What they're
that there's a
saying.
woman in charge. So we need more of it. Let's keep it coming. Keep it coming. Hey,
bunch of man haters.
you're the one that's just helping our YouTube channels out. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, let's check out some of that footage. This person here says, I made a GIF of the Stormtrooper AI just firing into a wall. If you play the GIF, it's basically the Stormtroopers just shooting into a wall. Well, okay. Listen, it's a brand new game. Probably one little glitch. It happens all the time. Let's see some of the other footage. This clip has no sound, and it already has 2.2 million views. This is the backhanded slap
to a helmet.
Of a Stormtrooper. Let's look at that in slow motion.
To a helmet.
So basically, you could just walk behind a Stormtrooper and slap him on the top of the head. Even though
I have not seen that clip slow down either. Oh my god! Just wave the back of your hand near a helmet and knock somebody out. She truly is a Sith Lord.
He has a helmet and knock him out.
Wow.
Okay. And one of the first comments from that clip is this gem right here. This guy says they were inspired by that one bit, girl boss from the Kenobi series. You guys remember that? This was a woman who slaps two Stormtroopers in the head and knocks them out. Man, poor Stormtroopers. First, the meme was they can't shoot anything. And, of course, Disney Plus series, they just rode that meme in The Mandalorian when they had two Stormtroopers just trying to shoot something in like a tin can in front of them. And now, basically, what's the point in even wearing armor? None. If you could just slap them in the head and it just works out, that you could knock them out. So they probably did. They probably were like, hey, this happened in the Kenobi series. Let's just put it in the game. No problem. Stormtroopers, waste of oxygen. Why even create them? They were all like cloned from Boba Fett, who was a pretty talented fighter, but, or excuse me, Jango Fett. Jay, how could you? But yeah, here we are. The slapping of the Stormtrooper. This was another clip floating around. Sorry, I don't have any sound. YouTube, A journalist was saying, hey, I'm having a blast with Star Wars fighting mechanics. And they're showing the NPCs just standing around, not doing anything. Oh, my goodness. This is wild, man. Now, I know this doesn't represent the entire game, okay? We're just laughing at some clips online. Now, one of the biggest outraged criticisms of the game is how ugly the lead looks. K-Vest, I think I said that right, in this video game. And you'll understand why when I show you the next picture. But Star Wars Outlaws lead says there's no point in engaging with bad faith criticism. So if you think the main character's ugly and that's your criticism, then we're not going to engage in that because, we have nothing to say. Well, I can clearly see now why you don't want to say anything, because you took this beautiful woman and made her ugly.
Yeah, it looks like they threw the Zacros out of a tree. You hit the ugly branch every step of the way down. That's fucking terrible. All right, and the last one we're going to go is more about this. This is by Yellow Flash 2 as well, and it says, F you. Star Wars Outlaws director wants gamers to shut up. He's sick of your criticism.
IGN has been going hard in the paint for Ubisoft over the past month or so. Like every day, there's something new with them defending Ubisoft and their games. The big two that they've really been going out of their way to defend is, of course, Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows. More so Star Wars Outlaws because that game comes out at the end of the month. I think on the 25th is when this game finally drops. Now, Assassin's Creed Shadows is a little bit further away. It comes out in like October, I think. So this game should be pretty close to done. It should be done, actually, because it ships in
it's done.
20 days or so.
It's done.
So it should be finished, but I don't think that's the case. I've seen 2 preview builds. IGN has shown them both, and there's obviously AI issues with this game.
Let me just say, if you want to buy this game and you still want to play this game, I encourage you to go ahead. But find a sale when it's like $20. Don't pay $100 or more for this piece of crap. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
And there's frame rate problems. At least on whatever version they're showing, there's frame rate problems. So this game is a half-baked mess. And like I said, this is separated from the criticism of the main character. Who, by the way, this is a much more flattering picture, but she still looks bad. So you have the director of the game, the creative director, come out and say that it's not worth engaging with these people that criticize Kay's looks. They're doing it in bad faith.
Whatever that means.
This comes from an interview that he did with the Washington Post.
What it really means is I have no defense.
Where
so
they
I won't
asked
talk
about the
it.
discourse that some are pushing on social media that Kay isn't attractive enough. His response, don't give that conversation attention. Kay is meant to be approachable, a petty thief who ends up barreling through this story, making bad decisions and centered with a lot of humor, humility, and toughness. What's more important to me, that's more important to me, and she's beautiful. Come on.
Nope.
Looks like a Vulcan, like a man Vulcan. Okay, so listen, this is a fake character. This is not a real woman, all right? Nobody's feelings should be getting hurt. Now, they've tried to push this on the actress, and this is not what the actress looks like. And I talked about this briefly in yesterday's video, and I should have shown what she looks like, even though I've shown her before. I should have done that, so I'm going to do that now. The reason that a lot of people are talking about this is because they obviously made massive changes to the actress that they used for motion capturing. And it doesn't make any sense to me why they changed her face. So on the left is the real face behind the face. And she's pretty. This would have been fine.
Nothing.
I don't understand. Well, actually, I do understand why they didn't use her face. Well, because, to have another pretty face would make a certain group of people very upset because they'll never look feminine like this. They can't. That's not how they were born. And because of that, there seems to be some kind of push in the video game industry where we need to make women look gender neutral.
Yeah.
They very
That's
obviously changed this woman's face.
Thank you for saying
They changed
it.
her nose. They changed her eyebrows. They changed her cheeks. They changed her chin.
They want males to be feminine and females to be masculine is what they want.
Looks the lips look around the same, but the chin, the cheeks, the eyebrows, the nose, all of that has been changed.
Lips don't look the same at all.
They even gave her a crooked nose. I don't know if you can tell, but if you look up towards the end of her nose over by her eyes, you can see that there's like a bend there. They went out of their way to try to ugly her up. This isn't the only picture I'm going to show you. There's more. Here's another one. And what's funny is they'll say, we didn't change her face. That's the same face. Like, you're stupid. Like, bitch, I can see. I can see. And look at her eyebrows. Don't those look like Vulcan eyebrows? They're not the same. They're not the same. And it's funny to me. They'll come out and say, well, it's harder to do a woman's face. You sure about that? How come the man's faces look pretty much spot on every time? It's only with the women that they do this. And that's why, yeah, I do think they're trying to make them all gender neutral.
Yep, they are.
Right, and I'm just saying that. Obviously, there's games where this doesn't happen, but it's mostly a thing in AAA games, and I wish I had it on hand.
Yep. There's
a meme that's got a lot of the modern Western female characters in it, and they all have these masculine features now. But to sit there and tell me that this is the same face unaltered, that's disingenuous. People can see.
So, I think we're going to leave it here, but what I want you to take away from this is remembering all the videos that have come out pointing out the faults with Star Wars Outlaws, with the way they create their characters, with the way their director and people speak about the fans and their complaints, with the action problems, with the motion problems, the physics problems, the gameplay problems, everything you've seen and heard on the internet. Apparently, even now, if you watch it and see it, it's a complete lie, because you're being told the game is fine, and people who complain are just, they're in bad faith. They're telling you, don't trust your own senses, trust what we tell you. Trust what the YouTubers we paid tell you. Trust what the game designers and the game journalists, professional and otherwise, trust what they tell you. Surely they have your best interests. Let me just tell you again, if you want to play this game, go ahead. I encourage you, wait for a sale, pick it up cheap. Do not pay full price for this. Do not give Ubisoft the satisfaction, because you know, looking at this, it's not a great game. It may be a game you want to play, but I still tell you, I implore you, think about waiting for a sale for it at least. The other thing I can tell you is, if you want an opinion you can trust, I hope you continue coming here to Mist Valley Entertainment News. I will always give you my opinion and tell you you're allowed to have your own. But here's what I see, here's what I feel, here's what I'm gathering in, the information I'm gathering and passing back to you, and hope you use it to make good, informed decisions in your gaming and other entertainment. So for Mist Valley Entertainment News, here reporting on Star Wars Outlaws. And we had a little talk here about the paid YouTubers who are paid contractors for Ubisoft after accepting many lavish gifts from them in return, and a contract, and signing a contract, don't forget that, before being able to play the game for 4 hours and talk about it. My name is Dread. This is Mist Valley Entertainment News. We'll catch you next time.